do this fucking section. Yes! Fuck yes! Oh, God. Such a bitch. I didn't even activate and he's alive. My guitar just went off. Which I know just ruined this perfect score, but oh man. The song just... So getting back into this engine has just been a complete nightmare. Like, it feels like because there's no negative audio sync, that everything is super... You have to hit everything super early, but because it's on console and like the polling rate, obviously you can't do it too early. It's really obnoxious and specific, it feels like. Wow, okay, so I actually had never hit He's Alive until I think two or 3 days ago, but I think it was just 2 days ago. I practiced it for like probably 2 hours straight, just trying to hit it one time. Again, so much of that was because of just trying to get back, get used to the engine in general. But, it was an extremely frustrating endeavor, and this song just in general, the way it's charted, like, I swear there are so many sections in the song that feel like they were charted with like the old GH tunes where you could just free play. I don't remember what the song is or what the section is called. Trading Lick C and Tenacious Triplets, those descending quads that are like, it is the most awkward thing I've ever seen, and I missed on those way too many times. Blues Brothers was just a bitch every now and then, because I use the old JLC method of tapping and elbow strumming, and it's just awkward. So yeah, Bear in the Big Blue House was pretty annoying. Aside from that, Finish Slash Off, which these section names, Blowin' with Slash and Finish Slash Off, okay, go crazy, yeah, whatever. But I experimented with a new method, tapping a lot more stuff, and that screwed me over in a lot of these runs. I think this is my like 5th run to He's Alive. Yeah, I'm really happy to get this. This took about an hour and a half of attempts, so not terrible, but definitely just super obnoxious, because again, I don't feel like any section in this song is particularly like difficult to fret, but it's just so goddamn awkward all over the place. And of course the only really difficult part is at the very end, and it kind of, the strumming just feels like a complete crapshoot sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm like unintentionally using a lot of the hammer-ons, especially near the transition to the double strums, which I actually do use the hammer-ons for. And the triplets at the end, the red, blue, yellow triplets descending, the way they slow down can be really awkward. When I was playing that run, it's kind of funny, right after I got past the double strums, I was like, oh my god, I FC'd it, and I had to like recalibrate myself. I was like, no, you didn't. Like, get back on track here. So yeah, this was a pretty big endeavor and frustration, all things considered, but this is one of the songs that I always felt like it was just kind of one of those things I left behind kind of unnecessarily. Like, I should have been able to get this back in the day, probably, but I'm just so much better at fretting and stuff now from on and off, like, Clone Hero play, I guess, that, it was just, you know, much more doable now, I suppose. And one of the biggest realizations I had of that was practicing Devil alongside this, where I can now actually just standard tap Victory Solo K, which is a big deal because that was the only solo that was just kind of out of my reach, at least in terms of consistency. The rest of the song is still a complete bitch. I just kind of got back into the groove of Devil or Victory Solo R, where I can semi-consistently hit that. But then there's sections all over, like Victory Solo G, Devil Solo D, that are just a total bitch. And as always, the strumming is completely undoable right now. But I am trying to pick up rake strumming. I've been practicing that a little bit on and off. It really hurts the ending joint of my index and ring fingers. I'm sure what I'm doing to practice it with. But Devil is actually possible if I can get rake strumming down with some amount of consistency, because I just don't have time right now to just bullshit runs and hope things work out. And even if I did, I don't think I'd want to do that with that song, because the solos are just way too hectic and inconsistent on their own to want to try to go for an FC like that. Besides Devil, Soothsayer is still on the table. I don't think I ever said anything about this publicly, but I had a Victory Solo H choke back in like 2013, which I cannot believe is 10 fucking years ago, but here we are. And I never was able to do anything else with that. But I am pretty consistent with all the solos. Yeah, fairly consistent. Again, I'm still getting adjusted to this engine and having to hit things early. It just feels terrible. Like, I really just want to be able to play along with the music, actually. But you just can't really do that without negative audio calibration or just increasing the video lag and then trying to get readjusted to that, which is... It's just a pain in the ass either way. I guess I might as well prove this is on Xbox. But, yeah, Soothsayer is definitely possible. And I actually have some more consistent methods for pretty much every solo than I did back in 2013 when I was grinding it for a little bit. So, it's possible, but, like, the time it would take is just, man, I don't really have time to be just grinding FCs. And that song in particular, with just literally 5 minutes of boring bullshit at the beginning before you get into anything frustrating, is it's just, I just doubt I'll be able to deal with that right now. Other than that, I think the only other song, assuming I ever got Erten Was We're San, however you pronounce that, which wouldn't be too bad, I assume. But it is long, so that is a point in its favor where I might not want to go for it immediately. But I think I did FC that, but just in case I didn't, I would probably do it again if I ever got the other three, I guess, really difficult songs, because the other one that I never got was, of course, Johnny I Hardly Knew Ya. If I can't do any of the devil strumming, there's no way in hell I was able to do that, and I don't actually have that that pack, which is a bit unfortunate, because otherwise, yeah. Really, like, this whole thing is just, I started watching a bunch of old Guitar Hero videos, and looks like I don't have Erten on here either. I think my brother... Oh, I do. Never mind. As I started watching some old Guitar Hero videos that were recommended to me, and it just kind of made me want to put this game in particular behind me. Just, you know, finish off what I can. But I'm at kind of a really hectic point in my life. This is kind of a something that I'm just using to get away from everything while I can. But it's not something I can put, like, serious time into, really. So again, I'd really like to at least learn rake strumming and get it consistent, but I'm not gonna, kill myself doing it, and I just can't. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but it would be really nice to, at the very least, finish the boss battle pack and Virtuoso pack. It's just, only time will tell, I guess, if I even keep playing after this, but I am happy to finally put this song in particular, behind me. So that's about all I have to say. Also, the guitar I'm using is honestly really shit. It's like an Explorer with a couple hex screws, I suppose, what they were called, what you use an Allen wrench on, like missing from the upper part, so the fretboard isn't entirely like connected together. The whammy bar has erectile dysfunction, so it's not really usable in any like not pain in the ass way, which is part of the reason I didn't care about going for a score on Slash. And I never really learned how to use back for like squeezing on the Explorer. So yeah, and usually the orange button gets stuck after a while of playing. It hasn't recently, which is nice, but I need to take this thing apart and really like clean it out and make sure it's up to snuff before attempting any of those super long songs anyway. Yeah, that's about all I got to say. Thanks for watching, and I guess that's it. See you guys later.